Did you know your birthday doesn't tell the whole story when it comes to how old you really are? I've learned that your biological age, basically how old your cells and organs actually are, is one of the most powerful predictors of your long-term health. That's why I was so curious to try the True Age Test from True Diagnostic. It's a super simple at-home test that helps you uncover your biological age and gives you insight into your risk for things like Alzheimer's, heart disease, even early mortality. I ordered it myself because I wanted a clearer picture of my health beyond just checkups. It blew my mind to learn that if your biological age is just 5 years older than your actual age, your risk of major illness can go up by 30 to 50%. That was a wake-up call. But what really motivated me was this. Up to 90% of biological aging is driven by lifestyle. That means how we eat, sleep, move, and manage stress really matters. And we can slow it down. True Diagnostic doesn't just show you your biological age. You get a full personalized report loaded with science-backed steps to actually improve your health over time. I'm genuinely excited to see my results and make some smart changes, maybe dial in my sleep or rethink my supplements or just build better habits overall. The whole process is easy. Just a quick finger prick at home, pop your sample into the prepaid mailer, and a few weeks later, your results are online with clear, actionable insights. If you care about protecting your health and want to find out what your real age is, head over to truediagnostic.com and use my code RLRC to get 20% off your entire order or subscription. That's truediagnostic.com and use RLRC at checkout to get 20% off. Your future self will thank you.
Lowe's knows you want the best for Dad. This Father's Day, help him take on any project with big deals on DeWalt. Right now, get a free XR8 amp-hour battery when you buy select DeWalt tools. That's not all. Get up to 2 free select tools when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max battery kit. Maximum initial battery voltage measured without a work load is 20 volts. Nominal voltage is 18.
Hey everybody, it's Cyndi again with another pickup for today's episode. Yesterday we had video difficulties and today we had audio difficulties. So you will hear this audio like it's from a distance. That is because I'm actually using the video audio to compose this episode. And the new equipment had a high ringing noise in it, and I am working with the manufacturer to get that adjusted. But in the meantime, I am sorry for the audio as it is. I promise you it's a work in progress and it will get better. But thank you for listening. Thank you for your patience. As businesses say when they are doing remodeling while they're still open and they have a sign that says pardon us as we grow, that's kind of where we're at right now. So thank y'all so much. And
hello everybody, and welcome to this episode of True Crime Time for Tuesday, June the 3rd, and I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
Y'all, in case you forgot, the year is 2025.
What did you? I wasn't listening. I was looking at the bars.
Normally I say that, right? But I didn't say it this time. So
okay.
Saying it now, and here we are again in the new studio, right?
Yes.
Video going on, all that good stuff. New equipment, everything else. So that's not a peace signs in the video, y'all. Summertime is upon us. We're rolling.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. And they got some shitty people out there. You know that. right? You want to tell you about something? I don't think you know about this yet. You want to tell you about it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't
Well, this is just checks off all our asshole categories.
Oh, okay.
Racism, murder, violence, stupidity, whatever. Do you know what it is?
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, we're going to Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
Boulder, Colorado, y'all. This is a horrible, horrible story, and our hearts go out to all the victims. And fuck racism or whatever. I guess this is racism. Anyway, they did. It's a terrorist act that happened in Boulder, Colorado, which is most infamously known for who? What case do you know?
Oh gosh, please! I hate it when you put me on the spot like that. I'm thinking, what's his face? Oh yeah, Jean Bonnet.
Jean Bonnet Ramsey. So, y'all, they had the terror attack. They say it's suspected terror attack. It's a fucking terrorist attack, and they got a dude. I'm just staying with me. I'm gonna read you some of it. So they got a guy who did it, and I'll tell you about that act in a minute. And his name is Muhammad Sabri Solomon, and he's got murder charges now, assault charges, and other charges. And the FBI is calling it a targeted terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, which happened this weekend. So it was this past Sunday, they had a group of pro-Israel people who are advocating for Hamas to release Israeli hostages. And at this gathering, this asshole did what he did, and it left 8 people, ages 52 to 88, with injuries, including one in critical condition. So police responded to the area after receiving reports of a man with a weapon setting people on fire. Yeah. Solomon was charged with murder in the first degree, deliberation with intent, murder in the first degree, extreme indifference, crimes against at-risk adults and the elderly, first-degree assault, non-family first-degree assault, heat of passion, criminal attempt to commit Class 1 and Class 2 felonies, and use of explosives or incendiary devices during a felony. Now, Solomon, guess what? He's also in the United States illegally.
Gee, wow.
So, anyway, the Boulder Police Department confirmed Monday that no victims had died. So the murder charges, I said murder, but I'm pretty sure one was going to die. That's why they have these murder charges in there. And Solomon was booked into the Boulder County Jail, and this asshole, he's got a $10 million bond. They said, we are aware of and fully investigating a targeted terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, this FBI Director Cash Patel said. Our agents and local law enforcement are on the scene already, and we will share updates as more information becomes available. Solomon, who's 45, was arrested and taken to the hospital with minor injuries after his attack on the Run for Their Lives group that was gathering on Pearl Street Sunday night. Yeah, it's like people, they have these running groups, they raise money, right?
Yeah.
Well, this group is a grassroots organization that facilitates global run and walk events calling for the release of Israeli hostages held by Hamas. This particular chapter of the group meets on a weekly basis. Solomon was yelling, "Free Palestine," during the attack, which was near the county courthouse on Pearl Street. Now, FBI Deputy Director Dan Longino said the attack is being investigated as an act of ideologically motivated violence, and this is based on early information, evidence, and witness accounts. Now, Solomon, this asshole, first arrived in the U.S. after landing at Los Angeles International Airport on August 27, 2022 with a non-immigrant visa. He was authorized to stay through February 2nd of 2023, but he never left. Imagine that, right?
Yeah.
Why don't he go fucking back to where he's from
exactly.
and do some shit there? So Solomon was using a makeshift flamethrower, right? And again, in the news release, Boulder police said the attack was aimed at a group of individuals, and witnesses report that the suspect used a makeshift flamethrower and threw an incendiary device into the crowd. And that's when he was heard to yell "Free Palestine" during the attack. This group of the individuals were walking, like I told you, in the regularly scheduled weekly peaceful event. This is according to CBS News. And CBS News is also reporting that those injured were taking part in the march in support of Israeli hostages, citing an FBI official. You can cut out whatever you need to.
Yeah.
So they injured were taken to Denver Metro hospitals, and the victims include 4 men, 4 women, aged 52 to 88. Again, the Boulder Police Department notified the FBI and requested their assistance within minutes of the attack, and they said they're grateful for their partnership and their assistance. And again, according to CBS News, citing an FBI official, the suspect threw Molotov cocktails, plural, that burned multiple victims. And the FBI says, "We stand in full solidarity with those targeted, and we will continue to ensure that justice is pursued swiftly, support is provided to victims and their communities, and preventative action is taken to protect everyone's safety. We stand in full solidarity with those targeted." And that's according to FBI Denver Special Agent Charles Mark Michalak. And he said, "We will continue to ensure that justice is pursued swiftly, support is provided to victims and communities, and preventative action is taken to protect everyone's safety." But anyway, y'all, it sucks. That dude's an asshole. And I mean, he burned up a book.
But all people
were walking.
I mean,
because they were Jewish. And they wanted, I mean, that's where, I guess, it's racism. What's it, religion is?
Well, they put in their ideology, like they put in their statement, but it's not genocide. I don't know. I feel so ignorant on certain things like this.
I mean, it's like, it'd be like the fucking Nazis attacking the Jews, whatever that's
that
called.
was genocide with the Nazis.
Well, the genocide is when you try to kill a whole race.
Well, that's what the Nazis.
He wasn't trying to kill.
I know, but
killed 6 million of them. This is, I know.
But you just said it's like Hitler when blah blah blah. That's when I said that.
It's whatever it is. It's fucked upism, and it shouldn't have happened. That dude, you know, I hate it for those victims being burned. That's the one way I don't want to go.
No.
And it's horrible, and I don't get it. Fuck him. And prayers go out to all the people. Y'all, this is not a political or religious show or whatever. It's attacking against a religion, basically.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, it's fucked up. It shouldn't have happened. This is America. You should be able to walk
the free home of the brave
and demonstrate peacefully without being harassed or murdered.
I know.
So you got to give us something else.
This is horrible. Well, we're going to go to North Carolina. I have 2 stories from North Carolina
Yeah,
today.
one from North Carolina? Yes,
I think I did too. Morganton, North Carolina. And a 26-year-old young lady, her name was Brandy Deal. She was pregnant, and she was a mother of 3. She was brutally murdered in her own home hours before giving birth.
Wow.
Yeah, hours before she was due to give birth.
9 months pregnant, murdered.
Literally. And so due to give birth, I'm assuming she had a scheduled something, because who knows. But the crime occurred in 2023 when Dylan Rogers, who's 32, opened fire on Dill's trailer from a moving vehicle.
Nice.
And the vehicle was driven by a woman, a 52-year-old woman named Tammy Duckworth Boone.
Nice.
And the motive was reportedly a quote-unquote personal dispute. Those specific details have not been disclosed by authorities. Dill's boyfriend called 911 reporting that someone was in cardiac arrest, and deputies arrived to find Dill had been shot multiple times. Despite efforts, both she and her unborn child were pronounced dead at the scene. Rogers was arrested 5 days later and
following a 2-week trial, was convicted of second-degree murder and murder of an unborn child. He received a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on 1 second. Does North Carolina have the death penalty?
I found this on the web.
Does North Carolina have the death penalty?
I found this on the web.
Let's see. They used to, and let's go all the way up to 2022. They were challenging the method which you were selected, or the process of death qualification, blah, blah, blah. Hold on. It started in 1973. They reinstated it.
Yeah, you said you were going to start asking it a different question, because it's one thing to have the death penalty and another thing to actually use it.
Yeah, when was the last time you used it? But I don't know. I mean, killing a pregnant mom.
I mean, my gosh. So,
woman, but he got a life, I guess.
yes.
Whatever.
And without the possibility of parole.
Yeah, still he needs to be murdered.
Boone, which was the driver of the vehicle, was initially charged with murder, and had those charges dismissed by Burke County Superior Court. She pleaded guilty to discharging a firearm into an occupied dwelling from a moving vehicle and obstruction of justice, resulting in a minimum sentence of 55 months in prison.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack and hydration sponsor. We're so excited to announce they've teamed up with Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, on 2 special edition products, a salted caramel chip protein bar and a yuzu mango hydration mix. Y'all, the salted caramel chip bar is officially my new favorite protein bar. It tastes just as dreamy as it sounds, sweet and salty and totally addicting in the best way. This collaboration grew out of Chef Keller's daily regimen of IQ Bar products and combines IQ Bar's nutritional excellence with Keller's culinary expertise. IQ Bar's plant protein bars are packed with clean and delicious ingredients that keep you physically and mentally fit. Example, the salted caramel chip IQ Bar has 12 grams of protein and only 1 gram of sugar, plus brain-boosting nutrients like lion's mane adaptogen. The yuzu mango IQ mix is a refreshing zero-sugar hydration mix that marries bold flavor, essential electrolytes for your body, and lion's mane plus magnesium for your brain. Just mixed with water for the Michelin star taste and next-level hydration. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their busy lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. When IQ Bar sent me the salted caramel chip IQ Bar and the yuzu mango IQ mix, I was blown away. I couldn't believe something so delicious could be good for me. I had never had yuzu before either. In case you don't know, it's a citrus fruit, a cross between a lemon, a grapefruit, and a mandarin, which pairs well with the sweet tropical essence of mango. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text RLRC to 64,000. Text RLRC to 64,000. That's RLRC to 64,000. Regular message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. Did you know there's an online cannabis company that ships federally legal THC right to your door? And they found a way to combine THC with carefully selected functional ingredients to target nearly every mood and health concern you can think of. I'm talking about Mood.com's incredible line of functional gummies. And you can get 20% off your first order at Mood.com with promo code RLRC. Forget one-size-fits-all supplements that only get you high. Mood's functional gummies are optimized to kick in as little as 15 minutes and take you to the mood that you're looking for. Whether that's Mind Magic gummies for deep work and creativity, PMS support to ease cramps and balance mood swings, or their sexual euphoria gummies to help you feel ready for action and turn every touch into a full body experience. Look, y'all, you know I have trouble sleeping. I take the Sleepy Time gummy. I take a quarter of one before I go to sleep, and I sleep hard all night long. Never even move, wake up feeling fresh as a daisy. So listen, you can find gummies to just get you high pretty much anywhere these days. But Mood's functional gummies combine premium federal legal THC with targeted botanicals to help you get into that perfect mood, usually in as little as 15 minutes. And everything ships discreetly right to your door. No dispensary lines, no awkward conversations, just better days and nights delivered to your doorstep. Best of all, not only is every Mood product backed by a 100-day satisfaction guarantee, but as I mentioned, listeners get 20% off their first order with code RLRC. So head to Mood.com, find the functional gummy that matches exactly what you're looking for, and let Mood help you discover your perfect mood. And don't forget to use promo code RLRC when you check out to save 20% on your first order.
It's
not even, that's like 6 years.
No. District Attorney Scott Riley emphasized the gravity of the crime, stating, this is the quote, the defendant fired a shotgun into a home, showing that's what it says.
No, I'm just saying,
yeah.
In my mind, fuck, that's much worse than firing a pistol or even a rifle. Shotgun,
Boom.
You're scattering. It's like firing 20 bullets at one time.
It's all the pellets inside showing complete disregard for human life, all because he was angry over a personal dispute. He added that while no sentence can undo the loss, the verdict brings a measure of justice and closure to the victim's family.
I guess the victims had to agree upon it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I guess I'm kind of teetering on taking back. I wish that people would just plead guilty and not put people through the court, because I knew this when I said it, they end up getting a lesser sentence because it's a plea deal.
Yeah.
But sometimes when it's the case of a kid, I don't want the kids to have to get up and,
it's a pregnant mom. Nobody's going to get them to testify. The baby's dead. Mama's dead.
No, I'm saying in other cases, when I say I wish they would just plead guilty, and not make the kids go through the court battle or the trial.
I fuck them all. Let's go to Oregon, and this happened on Sunday, June the 1st, in Salem, Oregon, downtown Salem, Oregon. You're gonna wait till you hear this one. And guess what happened?
A shooting.
Nope. Multiple people have been injured after a mass stabbing incident in Oregon. On Sunday, June the 1st, at approximately 7:15 p.m. local time, Salem Police Department officers responded to reports of multiple stabbing victims at the Union Gospel Mission, which is located 700 block of Commercial Street. Now, police spokesperson Angela Hedrick is the one that confirmed this to people. Hedrick said that 11 victims had been transported to the Salem Health for medical treatment, each with varying types of injuries. And she said that their status at present is unknown. Then, cops thankfully got a male suspect in custody. Of course, police closed off the area following the incident. They got to work on a crime scene. And they diverted all traffic away from the area. And according to NBC News, the stabbing occurred at the Union Gospel Mission Men's Missions homeless shelter. The organization's new 50,000 square foot location opened in 2021. The shelter's executive director, Craig Smith, told NBC News in a phone interview that the suspect was new to the mission and had spent Saturday night there. I mean, they give him a fucking free place to stay.
Yeah.
He's going to do this.
And some food and a cot. And,
he was getting ready to check in for his next night on Sunday when he got into a fight. And it said something set him off. And he evidently had a knife in his bag. And at least one staff member was injured in the attack. this coordinate Smith, the director. They were working the check-in desk at the time, and the fight occurred just before the man went to hand over his belongings. I guess you gotta turn your shit in so you can't get any dope or whatever.
Right.
They said, we're sharing video with them, the director Smith told NBC News, handing evidence over to the police, and they said the whole incident is on video. Can you imagine that? The outlet stated that the homeless shelter is across from the Salem Police Department, right across the street. So they said this is a very fresh incident, and detectives are gathering the facts. And now a message from the Union Gospel Mission of Salem's website stated of the work that the organization does, starting with meeting immediate needs like nourishing meals, safe shelter, not so much safe anymore. Union Gospel Mission of Salem seeks to restore dignity and hope by sharing the love and grace of Jesus Christ with those in need, which will ultimately help them break free from homelessness for good. Now, the doors first opened in June. Wow, this is crazy. Doors first opened to the original Union Gospel Mission of Salem in June of 1953.
Wow.
After a group of Christian businessmen had become concerned with the homeless men coming into the Willamette Valley for the harvest. I guess they're coming in as day workers, right?
Yeah.
Said upwards of 150 homeless men seek refuge with us each night. The new location is just a few blocks north of the old building, and that's it. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I hate it for homeless people, and I hate that their lives got to such that point, and I have such strong emotions about that.
You do.
And that my heart goes out to them. And y'all, I know you think Woody Overton is just so hard ass and calling for the death penalty and everything else, but you know what? I'm a softy too.
Yeah.
Because I know each one of those people has a story.
They have a story, and a lot of them are veterans.
That's exactly what I was going to say, but it's one of the things I was going to say. That each one of them has a story, and I've dealt with a lot of them in cases, and some of them are just the best fucking people in the world, other than they're dopers.
Yeah.
And not that all of homeless people are dopers, because they're not.
No.
But when you see them out there in their whole world's in a shopping cart, and you know, they're just sleeping in doorways, and they line up for these free meals, and like in Baton Rouge, they really, every time it gets about to get really, really, really cold, like the St. Francis Mission, whatever it is, their guy gets on the news every night. It's like this: how many beds we have? I mean, otherwise they're gonna freeze to death.
Yeah.
But people, give this example. I've given it before. When you and I were going to court in Houston, Texas, we had no money. I was in a serious legal battle many, many years ago over the kids, and we were going to court. And I don't know how in the hell we did it, but I didn't have any gas, and we had the kids with us, and it was rush hour, and we were getting off the interstate on our exit. And as we're getting off the interstate, vehicle killed, and it coasted down into the intersection, stopped in the middle of the intersection. And guess what? Homeless people came out from everywhere at the intersection and pushed us to a freaking gas station.
Before we could even get we even knew kind of what was going on. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Most of them are good people. A lot of them have mental health issues and stuff like that, and I hate it. And I have mad respect for these people that do these shelters and stuff. And you know, some asshole just stabbed a bunch of people.
Lost his Jesus.
But stabbed a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And they just stabbed the dude he got in a fight with.
Well, because others were probably trying to go stop it, and he just was. I mean,
Still stabbed a bunch of people.
I know he did. I know.
And so, but I don't know. Prayers for the homeless people too. And I hate it. I hate it for them. Yeah, you know, you see it so much now. Everywhere you go, every major city. Like when we were in San Diego, and you were staying with Kate and the baby, WL and I were staying just because we got the room in the last minute. You know, it was a decent enough hotel, but hell, you go outside and They got homeless people sleeping underneath the staircase.
Literally.
But the weather is nice there. So, I guess they do whatever they do in the daytime, and they sneak in and sleep behind dumpsters, and it just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And especially the veterans. I do not believe any veteran should ever be homeless. You served your country, you signed up, and you were going to have a chance to die for your country.
Yeah.
Fuck that. The government should give them a house or something, train them, do something.
Yeah.
I'll get off the horse. This is crime.
But that's a crime. It's a gross injustice.
It is a horrible crime.
It is a horrible crime. And I got another horrible crime in I don't know how to say it, Lenore, North Carolina. There was a 16-month-old toddler named Maddie, and she died on her first day of Creative Beginnings daycare.
Okay.
Which was her first day at the daycare was May 19th of this year. And she was found unresponsive after nap time and was pronounced dead at Caldwell UNC Healthcare despite life-saving efforts. 2 days later, Alexandra Coffey, a 29-year-old daycare employee, was arrested and charged with involuntary manslaughter in connection with the incident.
RAS. Scary about the death penalty. North Carolina.
She was taken into custody and released on a $500,000 bond.
How's a daycare worker have $50,000 put down for their 10% or $60,000?
So following the incident, the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services immediately suspended the facility's license, ordering for its closure. And the suspension decision was based on the agency's finding that the public health, safety, and welfare requires emergency action. Maddie's mother told WBTV that it was her daughter's first day at daycare and that she got a call from the daycare informing her that her daughter never woke up from nap time. A probable cause hearing for Coffey was scheduled for the beginning of the week, and her attorney has not commented on the case. So we have no idea what happened to that poor little girl. I can't. So I hope.
Shame on them if they don't have cameras nowadays.
Right.
All right, let me lighten it up just a little bit if I can. This is a fucking stupid story. We're going, let's see, New York. Yeah, New York. People think, you say New York and they just think New York City.
Yeah, you don't think.
And my nephew lives up close to Fort Drum, which was where the Chemical Corps was, which I was in the Army, and it's up by the Canadian border. And most of it's, mountains and not city,
rural.
Right, rural. Yeah. So they had these friends, and they were going on a trip to New York's Adirondack High Peaks. This is on a Memorial Day weekend, right?
Okay.
On hiking in the mountains. There's pretty mountains up there. It's not like the Rockies, and meaning that it's not that big.
Yeah, you're not like scaling.
Right. So the shit didn't go so well for them. And according to a news release from the New York Department of Environmental Conservation Forest Ranger Pratt Calio, he got a call about his deceased hiker on Cascade Mountain on Saturday, May the 24th at 9 a.m. local time. Okay. Right? He's like, holy fuck. The Rangers got to be kind of like security guards. The dead body is like best day of my career. Not best,
I know what you mean.
Most exciting.
Yeah.
So what had happened is two hikers called 911, and they reported that the third member of their hiking party had died. And when the two hikers encountered the Cascade Summit steward, they also advised they were lost. So when the guy responded, they were like, our friend is dead and we're lost. So Cascade Mountain is the 36th tallest of the Adirondack high peaks, according to LakePlacid.com. And alltrails.com describes the area as a challenging route that is a very popular area for hiking and snowshoeing. So it said, you'll likely encounter other people while exploring. The trail is open year-round and is beautiful to visit anytime. Well, not for their friends, but it wasn't the trail that caused problems.
It was an animal?
The park ranger, they're calling him Stuart, he meets with him and the 911 callers, and he's talking to them. Remember, they said they're lost and their friend had died, and he thought, these two are fucked up. You know, they ate a bunch of shrooms.
Okay, did they find them along the way?
Listen, I don't know, but listen, and while he's talking to them, he said they were in an altered mental state. Woody's term was fucked up, and they admitted they ate hallucinogenic mushrooms.
And was their friend actually dead?
Medical News Today explains on its website that psychobilin, which is a hallucinogenic compound in certain mushrooms or magic mushrooms, and that eating mushrooms that contain psychobilin can have various effects, ranging from euphoria to hallucinations. Now, this ranger, he's talking to them, and he realized they fucked up, and they slipped up and talked about it. But he said he escorted the two hikers who had eaten the shrooms to a waiting ambulance, and the New York State Police. And he's like, shit's going on down here. Let's see. Well, what you asked, what about their friend, right? Well, as for the third member of the party, the news release states they called and was not injured. They were escorted back to their campsite by the park ranger. So, no, the third friend, he evidently did get fucked up on the mushrooms, and he was separated from them, but he wasn't injured. These motherfuckers call 911 and say, our friend is dead, and we're lost, and da-da-da. No, you were just fucked up on shrooms.
I've never done shrooms, but I've heard some crazy stories from people that have done them.
Someone could tell you some stories about shrooms, but he's not allowed. And it's really, like acid, there's kind of a difference, like the difference between LSD, because it's a chemical compound, and the psychobilin, that is actually legal now in a lot of states.
Yeah, and a lot of people microdose them.
But the thing being is, like LSD, really just you hear about people getting on bad trips. And what it does is just intensifies whatever you're feeling like 1,000 times. So you start laughing, you're going to piss yourself, right? And if you see in bright colors and you focus on that, they're going to be really bright, or you listen to music and you're going to get really, really into the song, shit like that. Yeah. And if you go on a bad trip, if you get in a bad way, like these motherfuckers think, oh God, we lost Billy Joe. He must be dead. The booger monster ate him.
Oh my gosh. I've heard stories about one guy that used to trip really hard, and people didn't want to be around him when they did that. They wouldn't tell him that that's what they were going to do.
Yeah. It's legal now in a lot of states. Who's to say drinking alcohol is any worse? I don't know. But or not any worse. But it is what it is.
Wow.
But if you eat a bunch of shrooms, maybe you need to tie yourself together. And if you're going hiking in the fucking wilderness, maybe they were overcome by the colors of the mountains and all that. But they feel like jackasses now because we're talking about on True Crime Time for Tuesday.
Well, I don't want to say the person's name. I haven't seen him in like 40 years. He would go out to his, 30 years, to his parents' ranch and do them and just be like in an open field like for days, because he did it in a house one time and he literally busted through a wall because he couldn't open the door. He he couldn't find the door, so he just literally thrust his body up against the wall until he busted through the sheetrock to get out of the room.
Yeah, they must call it. He couldn't get away from himself.
Exactly.
So, all right, let me go. I'm going to go ahead and do one more. This is, we're recording this like less than 24, well, not even that, 12 hours before you're going to get it, and this just came through. Fucking crazy. Going to Minneapolis. I know I say it wrong. I don't give a fuck. That's how Woody Overton says it. The people say I say it wrong.
Minneapolis? You say it wrong?
I said Minneapolis.
Oh, Minneapolis.
But I got to go to Monday Night Football there. It's a beautiful city. And, it really is just an amazing place. Well, not today. Officers found more than 100 people running for their lives at Minneapolis' Boom Island Park on June the 1st when gunfire erupted at a nighttime gathering. And so the shooting at the Minnesota park has left one woman dead and 5 men wounded. On Sunday, June 1st, at about 9:30 p.m., officers were called to the Boom Island Park in Minneapolis for reports of shots fired. And then it got upgraded to reports of a shooting, right? Not just shooting, the difference being somebody got hit.
Yeah.
All right. This according to Police Chief Ryan O'Hara. Now, officers from the Minneapolis Police Department and Minneapolis Park Police came upon what their quotations they call a very chaotic scene with more than 100 people still in the park screaming and fleeing. And they said people were gathered at the park for a barbecue or something else when an altercation erupted into gunfire. Hey, you know what doesn't belong in your epic summer plans? That's getting burned by your old wireless bill. While you're planning beach trips and barbecues and 3-day weekends, your wireless bill should be the last thing holding you back. That's why I made the switch to Mint Mobile. With plans starting at $15 a month, Mint Mobile gives you premium wireless service on the nation's largest 5G network. The coverage and the speed you're used to, but way less money. So while your friends are sweating over data overages and surprise charges, you'll be chilling literally and financially. Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you. All plans come from high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered to the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. I use this and you should too. And honestly, the switch to Mint Mobile was a no-brainer for me. The service is just as good as my old provider, but my bill is a fraction of what it used to be. I haven't had any dropped calls. My data speeds are solid, and knowing I'm saving money every single month, that's the real win. This year, skip breaking the sweat and breaking the bank. Get your summer savings and shop premium wireless plans at mintmobile.com/RLRC. That's mintmobile.com/RLRC. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months. 5 gigabyte plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for the first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees are extra. See Mint Mobile for details. You ever notice how the smallest changes can completely reset your mood? Like lighting a candle or cracking a window or slipping into a bed that actually feels like it belongs in a luxury retreat. We've been switching things up for the summer over here, and let me just say, refreshing your bedroom with avocado green mattress bedding is totally a game changer, y'all. You already know Avocado for the certified organic mattresses, but their bedding is next level. I'm talking soft, breathable, and sustainably made pieces that don't just look good, they feel like an upgrade for your whole life. Their organic cotton sheets, GOTS certified and insanely soft, like sleeping in a fancy hotel. And their natural linen duvet just gets better every time you wash it. Light, airy, and built to last. We sleep better when we sleep cool, and natural materials like these don't trap heat the way synthetics do. Avocado's bedding helps regulate your temperature all night long, which means no waking up sweaty, no tossing and turning, just good, deep sleep. What I really love, though, you're wrapping yourself in responsibly sourced comfort. These materials are organic, renewable, and ethically made. Better for you and better for the planet. That's what avocado is all about. Mission-driven sustainability without sacrificing luxury. Head to avocadomattress.com today to save 10% on all bedding and 50% on clearance bedding. Avocado, dream of better. Authorities believe there was more than one shooter involved in the incident. Now, police found 3 male shooting victims at the scene and 1 female victim in a car near the entrance to the park. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
The female victim has not been advised. She was rushed to a local hospital where she later died.
Oh.
One of the 3 male shooting victims who was rushed to the hospital by ambulance has life-threatening injuries.
Yeah.
He might be brain dead.
Yeah.
That's what they always say, right?
Right.
That 2 other male victims were taken to the hospital in private vehicles, and they have non-life-threatening injuries. So it's like, Jimmy got shot. There's no ambulance.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So 1 additional adult female was knocked unconscious in the melee that followed the shooting. So authorities, like I said, authorities have not yet identified the victims. But they say our hearts go out to the woman whose life was taken in this incident and everyone else that was affected by it. While the woman's family is mourning her loss, authorities are sifting through literally hundreds of pieces of evidence at the scene as they work to identify all those who were responsible for this, according to Chief O'Hara. They said it is a very extensive scene. There were a whole lot of rounds fired. Calling the number of rounds fired, quotations, outrageous. O'Hara said it's more akin to a war zone. The amount of shell cases that the officers are recovering here, it is just sickening. He said he doesn't know exactly why people were gathered at the park or what sparked the shooting. I don't know what can motivate people to come armed to a gathering like this in the way that they did. Anyway, O'Hara's asking anybody with information to call the police at 612-673-5845 or 1-800-222-8477. You can remain anonymous. I mean, fuck, you can't go anywhere anymore.
No, you can't.
It's just mass guns and mass killings and mass everything. So I don't
Mass knives,
knives,
flamethrowers, Molotov cocktails.
I don't get it.
Firecrackers all together to make a bomb and put it in a gift.
Yep. It's all craziness, right?
Mm-hmm.
One more quick one.
Okay.
We're going down to Mexico.
All right.
And, we like to go down there.
I love Mexico.
We sit in a restaurant, and the mariachi bands come around. Yeah, I need you to say it. The Mexican bands come around and play for you and show like that. They kind of got you. They kind of got you stuck at the table when they come up and you're sitting with your wife and they want to play a romantic song or whatever. And you're like, you want to be the fucking asshole and say go away.
But you
But you don't want to sit there. I don't want to sit there and listen to that shit either. But down south, 5 bodies were discovered along the Mexican border near southern Texas, and they belong to a 5-piece Mexican regional band who went missing on their way to play a show last weekend.
Oh.
Isn't that right? So the Associated Press says that the Mexican authorities said Thursday that they believe the 5 bodies to be those of the members of the Grupo Fugitivo, which is a Mexican regional band known in the area for playing parties and dances.
So they're like a mariachi band?
I guess.
Yeah.
All the quinceañeras and the...
Quinceañeras.
Yeah, however the fuck you say it. So they said their deaths, shocker, are believed to be tied to the cartels The 5 musicians' murders are still under investigation. Now, according to the AP, the Tamaulipas state prosecutors say that the 5 musicians were kidnapped while driving their SUV to play a show. Their bodies were discovered on the outskirts of Reynosa, a northern Mexican city along the Texas border.
Yeah.
Police have arrested 9 suspects in connection with their death, all of whom have ties to the notorious Gulf Cartel. Local media reports indicate that the 5 victims' bodies had been burnt.
Why?
Right?
Why?
Right? Nothing just says a little overkill like shoot them to death and then burn them. So the BBC reports that the band was made up of musicians between the age of 20 and 40 who all played Mexican regional music, a type of genre that includes cumbia and corridos, and oftentimes plays homage to cartel leaders. The BBC reports that it remains unclear whether the members of Grupo Fugitivo were targeted because of their music or simply victims of random violence. So the last time the band members were heard from was while they were on their way to play a show at a local venue on Sunday night. This were their family members. And some family members also said they received ransom demands.
But they were probably
They're like, well, they were all like, we don't have any fucking money. And they were like, we'll just kill them, burn them, take their car. So, but authority, speculating, well, guess what? The authorities are doing the same thing, and they're still trying to figure out the motive for the killing of the 5 musicians.
Fugitivo is literally fugitive in Spanish, so
Yeah, well,
they're the
they
fugitives.
might have pissed off
The wrong fugitives.
They missed a chord in the quintia. They did whatever, or looked at the Gulf Cartel's leader's wife wrong or something.
You never know.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Our president is, and I've been saying this, and you've heard me say this for many, many years, that the cartels should be considered, we should be able to go in and attack those motherfuckers with our military, because it's the fentanyl and everything they're shipping in, and all the people that they're killing. Fuck, stop
It's
it.
like a war,
Stop
literally.
it. Yeah, I'm sure it would go around another way and whatever, but they are killing thousands and thousands and thousands of Americans every year. Their product is, and it's coming from them. They're bringing it across. Go in and kill every one of those motherfuckers. If they're not there, they can't cause a problem. If this was World War II and the Nazis were invading the United States of America, or the Japanese invaded Pearl Harbor, we fought back. Kill them.
I 150% agree with you on that. However, we have free will. We don't have to take their fentanyl. We don't have to take their cocaine. We don't have, the things that
So you don't have
we need to train our people to not. Also, we have to take accountability as well. Don't use their product. They don't have a customer. They can't bring it in here. And I know it goes both ways, baby.
Should get what's coming to them. And yes, there will always be drugs, and yes, people should not do drugs. I get that, but they're going to do them. People should not have sex with prostitutes. I get that, but they're going to do it. It's been around since the beginning of time. So that's enough for me today. How about you?
Me too.
So we love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you for liking and listening and sharing. And y'all are awesome. Lifers are the best fans in the world. This week on Friday, we're dropping the first episode of the Queens of Digital Marketing, Human Sex Trafficking, but we're called Queens, right? But the organization, the lady that tells us, I'm starting to interview her. We're going to do at least 5 shows with her, but y'all listen to the story, and it talks. She tells from when she was a young girl being raped, and how everything transpired into what it is today. So that's the real legit deal. We're also taking on a new hashtag Justice4. We're going to be recording that this coming Saturday, the first one, and it'll drop the next week. And it's going to be another war. We need lifers on board to do it. Also, check out our YouTube channel. We're now recording these episodes, and they'll be out, a little bit after the regular episodes. But if you want to see Cyndi and I killing each other across the table, karate chopping, her cutting me with eyes, and
they can actually see your eyes cutting me.
Yeah. But you got to edit that part out.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So anyways, you forget the cameras here, just like you forget the microphones here. I hope I wouldn't pick my nose or anything like that.
No, you were actually better today because I don't think you had it. I think you had it.
I don't pick my nose.
No, you were better to... You were better today because I think you were cognizant of the camera there.
I might have never paid attention. I saw it a couple times.
Yeah.
So anyway, we love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you for liking, listening, sharing again. I just can't thank you enough. You rock, and our numbers don't lie. And it's crazy that you and I, this show's like 7 months old, and the numbers that we have, we're doing more than a bunch of other podcasts put together.
Absolutely.
One show. And
Right.
So, but it's not a competition, but I'm just saying, we appreciate y'all, and it means as you're so inclined, go leave us a review and make sure to subscribe and check out the YouTube. And we're always like, oh, this is coming, but shit, it's coming, y'all. And we're so effing busy. Not complaining in the new studio and everything, not complaining. We're blessed, and we love y'all. And I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
We're your hosts of True Crime Time for this Taco Tuesday.
You're not having tacos. I can't make tacos right now.
Oh, that's right. All right. So it might be your Taco Tuesday. You being the listener. And we love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. We'll holler at you later. Peace.
It's on, the biggest Maytag sale of the year at Lowe's. Buy 2 select laundry appliances and get up to a $100 bonus via instant rebate. Shop all things Maytag, including the new stackable Pet Pro laundry system that removes pet hair from clothes. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid through 5/31. See store for pricing and offer details. Advertise savings on all major Maytag appliances through Maytag.com and participating retailers. Prices may vary. Additional terms and conditions apply.